Hello everyone, my name is Ashley Bogle and I'll be going over the workplace problem that's impacting the purchasing and finance department regarding how to identify credit card transactions. We will be navigating through the problem-solving process and using several tools to aid in finding a practical solution for the problem. Background to the problem: typically credit card transactions were done outside the system on an expense report and then later inputted into SAP by finance. However, our corporate team has requested us to manage credit card transactions similar to how we process regular bank payments in our ERP system, SAP. We are now required to create purchase orders for CC transactions, and the challenge with this is that SAP doesn't have a clear way to identify credit card transactions from bank payments. So the problem question is, how can we identify credit card transactions? Divergent thinking to gather ideas from coworkers in purchasing, finance, and logistics. Divergent thinking is a great way to brainstorm ideas without judgment and before you can even evaluate them. And I was able to generate and create a divergent mind map. The top ideas from that brainstorming session was vendor categorization to identify CC transactions, email or meet to match credit card transactions to POs, weekly bank statement to purchasing, and CC indicator in SAP. All right, please take a look at my mind map here. I use the convergent thinking to analyze and narrow down the most practical solutions. After looking over the solutions, I evaluated several of them that were similar, wouldn't be possible for the current situation, and kept the ones that could actually be implemented. By evaluating the ideas, I narrowed them down to the most realistic and impactful. The two strongest that I had were adding credit card indicator in SAP and having finance provide weekly banking statements to the purchasing team. You're going to sift through different solutions. I use the devil's advocate thinking to evaluate the risks and obstacles of the solutions. The three best solutions I examined were CC indicator in SAP, vendor categorization to identify CC transactions, and weekly bank statement to purchasing. I identified that consistency, communication, and team cooperation was important to implementing solutions. I evaluated the strengths and weaknesses of each potential solution. Getting to the nitty-gritty and narrowing down to the best possible solution, I used the weighted ranking tool to determine which options were the best to implement. My criteria that I used was ease of use, efficiency, and low frequency. As you can see here, the CC indicator in SAP scored the highest, making it the best possible option to solve the problem with minimal disruption. Develop an implementation plan using the Process Decision Program Chart, or PDPC, to figure out all the steps and risks that are involved in making my chosen solution, CC indicator in SAP, work. A PDPC is a visual tool used to display options and evaluate possible risks as you're kind of going through each step and analyzing those alternatives to create a great backup plan. I put the solution CC indicator in SAP and broke it down by steps to make it possible for finance and purchasing to implement the process smoothly. A couple of the key actions from the implementation plan. They were to assign a code in SAP, coordinate with purchasing, and make sure that training and communication was at the forefront. With each of the action items, there were sub-steps, possible risks, and workarounds that were evaluated. Social considerations of my solution. Since this solution is an internal process, it doesn't really present any major ethical issues. However, if it's not done properly, it could become an issue by misreporting credit card information. On the side of environmental consideration, one good thing is that it does reduce paper usage because we won't have to compile all those expense reports to submit monthly. And lastly, the social considerations were better collaboration between finance and purchasing. In conclusion, the problem was SAP's inability to identify CC transactions. By using the problem-solving tools, I determined that adding a CC indicator in SAP is the most effective and practical solution. It is the most effective solution that supports the overall compliance and accurate reporting.